Jane. Hi, hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Oh wait, that's the wrong screen. Don't look. There, now look.
It's just tiny me.
Oh, and that's the wrong title. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm gonna say things while I do this. Hello and welcome to the Game Brew Podcast, episode 136, the bi-weekly video game podcast, where we sip delicious bevs, discuss video games, and what's got 4 thumbs, 1 beard, and similar opinions on video games. These guys. Who are you?
I am me. And me is I. I am Chris.
Hi, Chris. I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan.
I work here too. And on this wonderful episode of the Game Brew Podcast, we ask the question, is there another console war starting? Is it brewing?
Or was it just asleep? I think it was just sleeping.
That's why I've titled this one Console Wars 2.
I mean, it's probably like
Boogaloo.
the 7th console war or something.
The
consoles are always fighting.
The consoles, they are a fighting. I'm gonna move us up a little bit. There we go. That way, the title fits because it's too big. Great. So this is a video game podcast. We're gonna talk about that stuff, but first we gotta check in on the other stuff.
Because it is also a beer podcast.
It's a beer podcast also. So we're going to drink some beers. If anybody wants to vibe some with us, please do. But I'm gonna pop this one open. Chris.
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking, man?
I'm drinking Citra Splendor from Manor Hill Brewery.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite go-tos. It's like a very juicy, almost sweet IPA. It's a double IPA. Kind of in
it's a double, but it's sweet. That's interesting.
It's kind of like in the
NEPA
range, but it's a double. So pretty potent.
Nice.
I actually picked it up yesterday. The place it's brewed, it's on this farm brewery. That's about 5 minutes from the house. So
nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Brews. You know what? I'm drinking a beer from Locust Lane Breweries, which is only 1.2 miles away from my apartment.
Is that on the road or is that?
It's
like,
on
as the crow flies.
It's on the road. As the crow flies, it's shorter, but I'd have to go through a bunch of people's backyards in the woods and a train.
You should definitely do that.
So I should probably avoid doing that. But I'm drinking. It's named after the street that they're on. It's called 3 Ton Citra IPA. It's an India Pale Ale.
That's a lot of tons.
Yeah, no, 3 ton like TUN. It's not like a TON.
I was gonna say that's a lot of hops.
It's a TUN. That would be a lot of hops. But no, it's good. It's like aromatic. It's a little citrusy. It's not too citrusy. But it is really good. I like it.
Very good. So Manor Hill Brewing is 3 miles from my house. 3.1 miles.
So close.
So close. Not as close as yours.
Not as close as mine, but this is the we live near breweries episode.
And I like that.
I like that. Welcome to the we have close breweries episode. My name is Dan. You'll notice if you're listening and or watching, we are Allison-less again. She is still under the weather, so please send out any positive vibes. You can, if you want to send her like video games or something, I'm sure she would appreciate it. If you live close enough and you know where she lives, like just bring her some Baja Blast. I'm sure she hasn't had any in a while.
I'm pretty sure that's how you how she heals is via Baja Blast.
Yeah, she really needs it. But no, we love her and we miss her. I miss her. We miss her. We all miss her.
You're just assuming that I miss. Yeah, I do miss it.
We do miss it. I mean, because whenever Allison's not here, it's just 2 of us. It's like shouting at it. That's what
it's like. Yes, I agree.
Yes, I agree, and here's why. I concur, and here's why. I don't care. I don't care about your concurrence. So we're just going to talk about things we like and things we observe, and you have to deal with it, everybody in here.
I mean, I guess technically they don't have to. They could just not.
You could disagree with us, but get out.
Or
You know,
But then they wouldn't listen to us, and that would make me sad.
Chris, no one listens to us anyway.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
My parents do.
Mine don't listen to me.
They gave up.
They gave up a long time ago.
Darth Bratz or Darth
Well,
Bratz?
actually,
Death Bratz.
so he was Death Bratz on Xbox Live. He's Death Dad, best gamer tag ever. But it's DETH because DEATH was already taken. So he's Death Dad, and then on Twitch he was Death Bratz. Then he was Death Father, but then he realized like, oh no, I'm a grandpap. So now he's Death Pap is what his is what his name is. So look him up on Twitch. He doesn't stream anything, but just be his friend.
But you can find him there.
Gray craves argumentative conversation. Well, you don't get any. You don't get any. Gray.
And I'll fight you.
Fight
if you want that.
If you want it, find where you are and we'll punch you in the face. But nicely.
We probably won't do that.
We probably won't do that. We're too nice. We like people too much. But that's why we're us. It's the Dan.
That's why we're here. It's the Dan and Chris show.
This is the Dan and Chris show. But this is video game podcast. So instead of just wallowing in our sorrow at not having Allison here.
Speaking of Gray, though, have you watched the movie? I think it's called The Gray.
The Gray, the one with Liam Neeson fighting wolves with glass fists.
No, this is a new one. With,
or you talk about The Gray Man. That is
The Gray Man. Yeah, The Gray Man.
I really hope, Gray Man, that it's you take that to heart and
Well, and the best part is that
Chris Evans has
a stash.
He has a
Gray Man stash.
He has a Gray Man stash.
Yeah, I like when I was watching that. I was like, "That's all I could think about."
That's all. It's like, oh, Gray Man Station's gonna be mad. Oh no, his brand is being stolen. What's happening? But that's good. I've been told I need to watch that movie.
I mean, it looks cool.
Oh, I will take a minute to plug The Sandman on Netflix.
Ooh, I've watched one episode of that. It was cool.
It is very good. It is also very, very true to the comics. Like I've heard absolutely zero people. Like I love the comics and the graphic like novels and stuff. And I was like, I can't find any. I found nothing that I was like, I can't believe they did that. It's all just like, okay, great. I think it's like one of the best like comic
adaptions,
like comic to short series adaptions I have ever seen. Like it's just Neil Gaiman. He just knows. He's just involved. Like he's there and he's involved and he's just like, this is the important stuff. This is what we need. Like when there's like little visual scenes or like little conversations that I'm like, I remember reading that exactly in the comic. Then I'm like,
that's really cool.
That's good. Like the whole thing whenever he like gets sucked up into the hole, like when he does this whole thing, that's a really good image from the comics that they used, which was really cool. But yeah.
Yeah, I need to. I mean, spoilers. I haven't seen that part yet.
It's fine. It was in the trailer. You haven't missed it. But you're gonna love it.
Cool.
Hashtag you're gonna love it.
Hashtag.
We'll talk about it on the Game View podcast. You'll notice we've been I lost access to the Twitch for a little bit. Oops, sorry. But I have it again now. So. Yay, everything works.
It's back now.
It's back now. You will get the last episode of the Game Brew podcast released tomorrow. And
also we figured out what movies we have to
watch, but we'll talk about those later. Right now we're going to talk about the video games that we've been playing. Chris, what have you been playing? What you been playing, bud?
I stumbled down my Fallout 76 hole again.
Yay! You gotta make sure you disinfect when you fall down a Fallout 76
use some Radaway.
Use some Radaway. Have you seen all the is it because you've seen all the TikToks of people dying like they're in Fallout?
No, because I don't have TikTok.
You should get a TikTok, but it's basically just people whenever it's like somebody hit me with a big wrench.
Ah, yes, the weird Bethesda ragdoll situation.
Yep,
the old Bethesda ragdoll.
Because the ragdoll physics. Ow. Also, I'm old. It hurts to do that now. Physical comedy, man. Physical comedy.
No, I think it kind of came into my mind because my bachelor party that I had before I got married last month was in West Virginia, And so we were just talking about like Fallout 76
Fallout
because it's
76
also
is
set in
West Virginia.
right.
Makes sense.
So I finally downloaded it again and kind of messed around with it a little bit.
Anything
And suddenly now I've played 40 hours on Steam.
that'll do it.
Yeah,
That'll do it. What's the has anything changed in it from whenever you played it?
Yep. So I played it a lot at launch. Haven't really played it much since. But the biggest thing is that there's now NPCs that have like settlers that have kind of come back, and there's different factions like Brotherhood of Steel's there now.
Nice.
There's a Raider center, and then there's like a Settlers center called Foundation. But you can like choose to help one or the other and like build reputation with them. There's like daily quests. There's sort of raid type things. They built a lot on what they had at the beginning now, and it seems to be pretty decent now. Like
No Man's Sky. It came out and it was a dumpster fire, but then somebody came with a fire extinguisher and then they rebuilt the dumpster. It was a better dumpster.
Yep, that's exactly it. It's a better dumpster now, which is fitting for Fallout.
Chris,
but
we need to build a better dumpster.
We have the technology.
We have the technology. We can do it. These other dumpsters, bullshit. Ours is going to be amazing.
Yep.
It self-cleans.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. You wouldn't even need like power washers.
No.
Or
never mind. Scrap it. Scrap the whole thing. The most backhanded compliment I've ever heard. We'd be good at building better dumpsters. But anyway, sorry. Continue.
It's good. No, I mean that's about all I have to say about that. Okay. I do wish I'm waiting for other people to play it with me some. I'm trying to get Ian Richard back into it.
It's on Game Pass, so I mean we could play it, man. Just gotta download it.
It is like 80 gigs. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight.
Ooh, not tonight. Not tonight. No. I did. Oh, I got an Xbox One Series X. Finally, I found one at Target. It was restock day because I told here was my mentality, because I was like, I wasn't going to go out of my way, because it was really, everybody knows it's been really hard to find. Well, they're the current gen consoles. We call them next gen consoles, but they're current gen. In fact, they're already working on the next gen consoles, apparently. Yeah. So it's been really hard to find them over the last few years. And my way that I've said, like, I'm not going to like chase after it, was I was like, I'm just going to be like, if it's at Target, if I'm in a Target and I go to, or like a Walmart, and I go to the back where the games are and I see one, then I will buy it. If I don't see one, I will not buy it. It just won't happen.
It's not for you at that time.
It's like the fates, the universe, whatever. It's not for me. Last weekend we were at Target. We were at a fancy Target. Like, we have good Target.
Oh, fancy Target?
Well, you know how there's like good Targets, and then there's like Targets, and then there's like not good Targets. You know what I'm talking about?
No, all the Targets I've been to have been great.
Okay, well, there are like specific Targets we go to that are like, this is like the one in the rich people area, and then this is the one in the not rich people area.
Are you just calling the not rich one? Is that just Walmart?
No. The not rich one is just it's just like the one by me is like a regular Target, you know? And then I go to the one that's out by where we get the fancy coffee.
Not the bougie Target.
That's the bougie Target that we go to. But we were at the bougie Target on a Saturday, and we walked through, and I was just like, there is one. Babe, I have to buy it. I made this promise to myself. And she was like, that's fine. I don't care. You've told me about this promise before. It's all right. I was like, okay, cool. So,
Why an Xbox over a PS5?
Because the PS5 will be next. Is
okay.
Why. Because I have always been an Xbox boy, and I have a lot of stuff on Xbox.
Why does it matter if you have a PC?
Because it's on the TV downstairs, and I don't have to go into my office to play games on it. If Hannah and I are sitting on the couch just doing stuff, like, we can like be in the same place doing it, and it's not like I leave to go play video games in the office. It's like we're still there. She's playing Animal Crossing or Legend of Zelda. I'm playing like Final Fantasy 15 or or something else, a billion other games that are on Xbox Game Pass, something like that.
Okay, that's a reasonable
Thank you.
reason, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I mean, I have an Xbox. I have games that I play on Xbox. There are some things I play on my Xbox that I don't play on PC because I want to sit on the couch while I play them. Namely, Final Fantasy games, because I don't want to sit in this chair for like 6 hours doing Final Fantasy quests. I want to be on my comfy couch, laid like weirdly, like laid like the robot from Hedonism Bot what's it called? The show Futurama, where he's laid back. Like, yeah, I just play video games like, yes, bring me more grapes for my mouth.
Does that, when you say that, do they usually appear?
No, they don't. No. And it's like, we don't have grapes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just used to at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there are things that I do on here. Like I play the Cyberpunk on here. I play Warzone and stuff on here. My former boss almost slapped me through the screen because we talked about Futurama so much. That's Feeler one. Like really, we do. Hannah's never watched Futurama. We got to watch that. But this isn't a podcast. We'll save that for the Game View podcast. This is the Game Brew podcast. Ian and Jimmy started playing Hunt Showdown.
I saw that. Yeah, they were trying to get me to get to it, and I.
It's different. I jumped back into it because I played it back in like alpha, like when it first came out. I played it. There's a lot of stuff they added to it, which is really cool. But Hannah gets the next slap. Then, oh no, don't slap my girlfriend. No one slaps my girlfriend.
Only I get.
Only I slap my girlfriend. I don't slap. I don't do that. You can slap both of us at one time if you go like across the faces. But yeah, Hunt Showdown is good. It's hard. Like it's scary. There's a lot of noises that happen when you're playing it.
What do you mean noises?
So like the whole way that you kind of tell what's going on, like you have to like hunt for these big monsters, but there's also like zombies walking around. There's like beehive zombies that throw bees at you. There's also like big guys wearing armor. There's guys that are on fire. And then there's also other teams in there too. I think there's usually 4 teams of 3 in this big map. It's not big. It's a medium-sized map. So it is something. It's tough, but there's just like scary noises that happen all over the place. Have we checked out?
But it's 3 player, right?
It's the most is 3. And it is but you could do like games of 2. You could go in by yourself and like join up with squads of 2, but it is like it's very much like you play it to unlock and get your person up. It's again, it's kind of like Escape from Tarkov, where it's all about like the stuff that you have. If your guy, once you reach a certain level, if your person dies, you lose all the stuff, all the progress for that person because they're gone, they're dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the game for me.
Maybe not. I think, I don't know. Hold on. I'm thinking about. I'm getting in a very Chris headspaces. Yeah, it's probably not the game for Chris. Have we checked out Query yet? Query, or are you talking about the Quarry? The new supermassive one. Because there was a card game called Query. Yes, the Quarry. Okay. No, I haven't checked that out yet. I haven't played one of those games in a while. It's like Until Dawn. Have you played those, Chris?
I have not, no.
That would be an interesting game to play. No, the next scary game that we're going to play, Hannah and I are going to play the Mortuary Assistant, because okay. I keep seeing that happen. That has been popping up a lot in the gamer space. And yo, what up, Cat Couch Gaming? Thanks for being here. But yeah, her and I are going to play that because it's scary. And now that I don't live by myself, I don't
You can
have
play scary games.
I don't have to be scared by myself anymore. I can enlist my poor girlfriend to be scared with me. So we will play it. She gets motion sick, so she won't be playing. I will be playing. She is emotional support, and also.
Ooh, is it
Huh? Multiplayer?
no.
Scary?
No, that's not the word. Do you use your headset with it?
Oh, it's not a VR game.
It's not a VR game.
No, it's
Sorry.
not a VR game.
I was having a
Do I
brain
use my head game with it? Naked? Is it naked? Chris, is it naked?
It could be.
Is it?
I mean,
it could be. If it's
the people in it will be naked
if
eventually.
there's going to be cadavers, those will be naked. So.
Oh man, that's horrifying. Whatever that is in that picture.
Yeah,
it's like the baby face on. Okay.
Oh, terrifying. But apparently it's very scary. And I want to play it. That is basically I've been reawakened to. I want to play scary games again because I love.
Speaking of scary games, there's a scary game that we need to continue.
Are you talking about Dead Space 3?
Yeah.
We locked ourselves into a corner. We're never going to leave that place. We would have to start over.
Have to restart.
We would have to restart from the beginning.
I mean, that's probably my fault. I was pretty drunk.
It's okay. It was like 2 a.m. You had no idea what was going on.
I was super drunk.
I was telling you to drink your giant bottle of water, but instead you just kept drinking not tequila. Yeah, you just kept drinking tequila. I was like, Chris, stop. But it's okay. Oh, it's okay, Chris. Though we have other. I was looking today. I was like, I do
want to play that again.
I do, but there's got to be more like co-op games that we can play together, and that's what I keep looking into and failing horribly because I'm bad at searching the internet for things.
We should play.
Chris drank not beer. Chris drinks not beer sometimes. It's okay.
I occasionally do. Yeah.
I enjoy a martini. I am a classic.
I had to stop drinking beer, sort of, for a while because of gout. But now I'm on medication for that, so
nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to Germany in like next month.
Oh yeah,
for work. And I went to my doctor last week and was like, "Hey, so I'm going to Germany next month, and I'm 100% going to drink beer there. So give me some medication, please." He was like, "Really, you should, handle this with diet." But I was like,
City.
"Yeah, but."
Baby,
I'm going to Germany.
But yeah, but it's okay. This is a beer and video games podcast. Well, it's a bevs and video games podcast now, because when Allison started to join, we couldn't just drink beer all the time.
We could. She'd just die.
She would just die, and we don't want to kill. She's dying for other reasons. We don't.
I mean, she's already dying.
Yeah. So
aren't we all? No.
Aren't we all? Love you, Allison.
We should play like It Takes Two.
Oh, we could play It Takes Two. That would be adorable.
And Unravel.
I've never played those games, and I hear that they're.
I haven't either.
So we could do those from the beginning. But yeah, there's a bunch of that stuff that we have to try out. But speaking of things that we want to try out,
which often happen to be on Game Pass.
On Game Pass. So Chris, hey Chris.
That was pretty slick, right?
Yeah, that's great. Hey Chris. You know how there's Game Passes for like everything now? I
mean, it's pretty much passes for life. Like, I mean, you got your Netflix pass and your HBO pass and your Game Pass.
I forget. I was talking to somebody and they were like, you know what? This is so annoying. I have all these different streaming things. I've got Netflix, I've got Hulu, I've got Amazon, I've got Disney Plus. I wish they would just take all of those and put them into like one big package. And I was like, oh yeah. And then they could like give them to you and they would all have their own like channel they would be on. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's called cable, you idiot. And it was already a thing. It's just, it's all gonna,
and it was awful.
It's awful, but it's circular. It's going to happen again, But yeah, there's subscriptions for everything. Xbox came out with Game Pass. Everyone was really well. I guess first Nvidia had their like Nvidia Shield thing or whatever it was, and then Xbox was like, "Oh, we could do that." And then they made Game Pass, and everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know about this." And then people started to do it, and they were like, "Oh, wow, I really do know about this.
This is really cool. Keep doing really cool. Please."
And then I lost my train of thought. And then PlayStation came out with one. They changed their PlayStation Plus stuff, so now they have like a game download
they
service.
kind of had a thing I feel like before Xbox did, right?
They had the game streaming service that you could do,
and the thing where you get a free game every month.
Well, no, because Xbox Gold had been doing that for a while. They kind of jumped on that bandwagon too. So it's PlayStation Now is what it was called whenever it was like you could just stream games from their catalog. I think Xbox Live Games with Gold was first, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, then somebody can tell me later.
You might be right.
I might be crazy, but I just might be the lunatic you're looking for. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'll be here all week. Let's do one of these. So now the thing that's happening is they're getting these companies to be not exclusive. They don't use the term exclusive, but they
they're very careful not to do that.
They're very careful not to use the term exclusive, but they keep getting things. They're like purchasing the company. Microsoft keeps buying companies. Like the Bethesda stuff that they did was big. And
they sold Bungie. Well, they let Bungie go, and then that was bought by Sony.
That's true. They let Bungie go, and that was bought by Sony, which we'll see what happens.
Funny.
It's funny, but it's also like a when is it out of the big question is like are there too many Game Passes? First off, Chris, do we have too many of these, or are there just enough?
I mean, I think it makes sense for each console to have their own.
Yeah. Especially in when like a games as service sort of like world.
I think it makes more sense than having separate platforms or like things like Steam and the Origin and Bethesda had their own store for a while.
Yeah, their own
until they got rid of that and rolled it back into Steam. But I think it makes more sense than that. But yeah, it's I mean, I think it's okay. I think the bigger problem is it seems like we were going away from exclusivity for a while, and now it's kind of coming back.
We were kind of like, we were kind of like all holding hands, singing the "We All Like Video Games" Kumbaya, and then things started to happen where they started to get these companies, and then they're saying like we're not going to make them exclusive. Like it's like we're not going to deprive people of games. Like they're not going to not sell it on this platform, is what they're saying.
It just might be more like, I think they're going to more timed exclusives.
Right. So it might be like you're going to get this on day one on the Xbox. You might not get it until a few months later on the PlayStation.
Right.
Or like this will be on Xbox Game Pass. This won't be available on, which I've already noticed there are some things that are happening. You used to be able to play a bunch of the Final Fantasy games on Xbox.
Did they take those away?
They took a lot of them off, and they're now on the PlayStation. PlayStation Plus. I keep forgetting what it's called because I've been Game Passed. My brain has been Game Passed.
Yeah, I mean, Game Pass has kind of become like the Google, or like let me Google that.
It's like, is it on Game Pass? It's like it's not called that, but it is. You know, it's that. Yeah, the PlayStation Game Pass, but it's not called that.
It's not that,
but it is.
But it is.
It is. It's that thing. Yeah. It's not that thing, but it's that thing. And it's so there's just a lot of stuff that's on there. But I think now it's interesting because I have both, because I got the because I got.
I want to break this down. You have. I assume you have Netflix.
I have Netflix. Yep.
You have Hulu.
I do.
You have HBO.
I do. Well, I don't pay for HBO. My father pays for HBO, and I have the logins.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
I do.
Do you have Disney Plus?
I do.
Paramount Plus?
I do. I gotta watch Survivor somehow, man.
Do you have like Stars or like?
I don't have Stars. I don't have like Stars or Epics or any of those weird ones.
Or Showtime?
Showtime, don't have that. No, don't need it.
Okay, so is that it? You got 6?
I also have Peacock.
Okay,
I also pay for a subscription to Dropout because I gotta get my
Dropout is.
I
gotta get your Brendan Lee Mulligan.
I gotta get my Brendan Lee Mulligan in there. Also, Make Some Noise is Sam Reich. I gotta get my daily,
yes,
my weekly Sam Reich in there.
Is that the Noise Boys?
Yes, the Noise Boys are my boys.
I love the Noise Boys.
I have Skinamax. Yeah, Skynamax. Yep, I have that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have that. I just look at myself in the mirror and I do the dance from Silence of the Lambs.
Would you do me? I'd do
I
me.
do me. That's about the only person who would.
So, and then you have both Xbox.
I have the Game Pass,
and then I have Game Pass, and then other Game Pass,
and other Game Pass.
Do you still have Humble Bundle?
No, I stopped Humble Bundle actually because I have so many extra games in Humble Bundle.
So you're spending like $100 a month on subscriptions,
basically. So
cool.
So I have cable, but I don't have cable. You know,
that's incredible.
But it is kind of like it does play into my ADHD. I noticed this where I am a little bit more picky about the games that I play because now whenever I do download something on Game Pass and I start to play it and I'm like, this isn't fun. I don't like this. I don't play it anymore. I just stop, you know? Nice. And Cat Couch Gaming started farming Steam cards. I just figured out how Steam cards works to sell money.
You can sell them for like a little bit.
Yeah, it's like 4 cents here, 5 cents here, but it adds up.
I mean, it adds up. I've probably made. And sometimes you'll get like a really nice card that's worth like $5.
Oh wow, that's amazing! I gotta look out for those.
Yeah, they're usually the shiny ones.
Because I know I have all these Steam, like all the Steam points from buying games that I'm like, I'm not using these for anything. Aside from you get like backgrounds and stuff like that. But,
I usually buy like fun little emojis. Like I bought all the Cyberpunk ones and the Doom ones and the Witcher ones. But yeah. Anyways, we're off topic.
We're never off topic, Chris. We're on hot topic.
Ooh. So hot right now.
Oh, we got a ton of Steam points buying the Steam Deck. Yeah, I can imagine. It was like what, $800? Something like that.
Yeah, I bet.
But
shame they weren't worth anything.
But the big thing that's happening now is that with Sony and Microsoft, they're kind of playing this cat and mouse game where like Microsoft will buy something or they'll like say that they're acquiring something or they're going to release something. And then Sony's like, well, that's not fair that you get to do that. We would like to do that too.
Which is funny because they've been kicking Xbox's ass for like the last 1.5 generations. Right.
And I think it's because Sony is still like they have the best exclusive games, right?
Yep.
But what Xbox is doing
and as a reaction to that, they bought Bethesda and are trying to buy Activision Blizzard now and like are buying like all of these other game companies.
Gotcha. Oh, it's Rob in the chat and he says congrats, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're Christopher Hunt now.
Yes, that's right.
You just switched last names. So she's Katie Wrights, he's Christopher Hunt.
Which is weird because my sister's also Katie, and she got married, so she's no longer Katie Wrights, but now we have a new Katie Wrights.
There's a new Katie Wrights. This switched around. It's way more confusing this way, but it's a lot of fun. We enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great.
But
anyways.
Yeah, but the is it so do you think that this is like are they doing this are they like buying these companies out of spite or are they legitimately trying to solidify like their Game Pass or like their streaming services?
So it feels like Microsoft is just doing like they're like being business people.
Yeah.
And are like, okay, we didn't do very well in the last generation. Let's do something. Let's change this up and do something because we don't really have good exclusives anymore.
Yeah. That's true.
And haven't for a long time.
Right.
Okay, what can we do? We can buy Bethesda, who has a lot of high demand games. Great, did that. As a reaction to that, Sony was like, "Yeah, well, whatever. We'll buy Bungie. Fine."
And Xbox was like, "We don't even work with Bungie anymore, so okay."
You do you.
You have fun.
So yeah, it just feels like Sony's kind of being immature about it, and where Microsoft is just kind of trying to fix what they've
And
been
you
doing.
can actually like see that for yourself. They did so this whole discussion comes out because there's been a bunch of drama because there were some documents that leaked from Brazil, because Microsoft just claimed that Sony is paying for blocking rights to stop developers from adding their content to Xbox Game Pass, because there was a Word document filed with Brazil's national competition regulator. That's part of the review for the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which is rumored to be happening soon. For I think it's like $68.7 million or billion.
I'm sure it's how much. How many? What number did you say?
It's 68.7. I don't know if it's million.
I assume it's billion.
It's billion. Yeah, it's $1 billion. That's a lot.
Because million would be super small.
That's a lot of money.
Which I mean,
never
not
say
just,
that
like,
again.
For a company, for a large company, $68.7 million is not that much.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and Microsoft. And Rob says, I don't know why Microsoft didn't buy Crystal Dynamics and the other companies Square Enix were offloading. Well, because I think Sony kind of had dibs on those. I think that's
also true. Yeah, I mean, they've like Square's always been like
PlayStation. Like
yeah,
Sony,
like,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
Fantasy and
like it was weird whenever those started to
Chrono Cross.
come to Xbox. Like I remember that being like, oh, that's on Xbox. That's weird.
Yeah, and and you never know which ones are going to be there and not, but whatever.
Yeah. So basically, on August 9th, this filing came in, and Microsoft said that Microsoft's ability to continue expanding Game Pass has been hampered by Sony's desire to inhibit such growth. This is all translated from Portuguese, by the way. So
by you, I assume.
Yeah, of course, I did all the translation. Sony pays for blocking rights to prevent developers from adding content to Game Pass and other competing subscription services. So
I mean,
it's also not clear exactly what they're referring to. Like, there's not like a real way for that to happen. So it's a little bit.
I mean, that's exclusivity. Like, it's no different than exclusivity. To me, it's like Xbox is getting, or Microsoft is saying, this is more of a reaction, I think, to Sony being mad about the Activision Blizzard thing.
Yeah, exactly. And
like if that wasn't a problem, then this probably wouldn't be a problem either.
And I think there was like a bunch of quotes. There were like letters that they sent to people, like whenever that happened. Like Sony sent out a letter saying like, we don't think it's fair because Call of Duty is like its own entity, and Microsoft would have a corner on the market of like Call of Duty because it's the arguably like the largest, most popular shooter that's ever existed, and we don't like that they would do that. And then
what about Destiny?
Well, but that's the thing, because Microsoft is like, I find it. They sent a letter back that was just like, it's a little weird that you're saying like there are so many other options that are first person shooters that are also big, that are also on on different platforms.
Battlefield,
I mean, sort of.
Not recently, but
I'm trying to find, because I read it as it was a big quote. Yeah, according to the statement, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and with it Call of Duty, could strongly influence the console buying tendencies of gamers in the open market. Sony argued that as the world's most popular first-person shooter, Call of Duty stands out from other similar games. It represents its own category on the market. That's the big, like, that's the buzzword. It's its own category on the market. I'm taking this from, I'm reading this from the Hungary Post, but it's in English. It's translated to English. So thank you, Hungary Post. I'm not reporting this. They are reporting
like
this.
The Post is super hungry?
No, Hungary, like the country.
Yes, it's very hungry.
It is very hungry. Microsoft denied that. And Yeah, according to the answer of the people of Redmond, Sony itself has a huge loyal fan base, but the company cannot be interpreted as an independent category. It is still a participant in the free market competition of game consoles. Call of Duty is similar, even though it has a large fan base. It still competes with many similar games, which it does. Like even Warzone, there's Warzone, there's Fortnite, there's freaking
PUBG.
there's PUBG. That's not as huge anymore though. But it's still out there. There's Apex Legends. That's one that I see people play all the game, play all the time.
Play all the game.
They play all the game, baby. But yeah, I mean, it's basically just like I feel like it's like two kids being like, you can't do that. It's not fair. It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, but you did it first.
I mean, but you did it first. No, you did it first. So
Mom,
hey mom, and Brazil's
he's
like
being mean to me.
Brazil's like, you kids, stop it. Rob says, plus I feel like Microsoft could save Activision Blizzard from itself. I mean, probably. I mean, they do a lot of.
So.
It's kind of like the whole we want like good working environments for the like developers and for people who work in video games. Like, we don't want crunch to exist. We don't want things to be rushed out. I mean, look what happened. Cyberpunk 2077 came out and everyone was pissed off because it was not good. It could have waited until it was good and then it was released. Now everyone likes it because everything's all buttered up and it's all nice and smooth, you know?
Buttery.
Buttery.
Buttery, flaky crust.
What was that other one? No Man's Sky. That was pushed out before it was ready, and then that made everybody mad.
That's still independent, though, isn't it?
It's still independent, but it was one of the things where it's like, it was... no, it wasn't. I forget. Go back in the episodes. If you're listening to this, go back in the episodes. We talk about No Man's Sky like a bunch.
Hello Games?
Yeah. But maybe it's like...
Pretty sure they're still independent.
I don't know. Listen, I just played the tuba. But like, there are these games that like are forced to push out, but it is Sony was just helping with marketing. The thing about Rob says they're still a game. They're still independent, so I believe Rob.
Was that a duck?
You okay? Hannah? What? You okay? That was the pig. Okay. We got Sebastian has a pig that grunts when he squeezes it.
I thought you meant like you have a pig now.
No, we don't have a pig. We have a dog who has a rubber pig that he squeezes and it goes. I always think it's him either throwing up or Hannah's coughing really weird. But yeah, I mean, it could be good. But is this like do we think that this argument is valid? Like, by owning Activision Blizzard and cornering, like, having access to the Call of Duty stuff, will that make it so people stop buying PlayStations?
Probably not.
Perfect. Great. Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, like, it wouldn't. I mean, I don't play that much Call of Duty anymore, so it doesn't really have any.
Yeah, doesn't have any standing
really
for you. Yeah. But I play Call of Duty all the time. I mean, it's not a big thing. I also have never played shooters on the PlayStation because it's not geared well.
Yeah, the controller's not.
The controller's not set up for playing first-person shooters.
Yeah,
like,
I don't like it playing them on that.
The triggers aren't even triggers; they're just shoulder buttons. You know.
They feel more triggery now on the PS5.
Oh, they do. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Well then, maybe that was the change they were making. They were like, "Oh, we got triggers now. We can do it." But a lot of people are saying in the Twitter sphere, in the gamer space, people are being like, "Hey, hashtag new console wars." You know, like, is this because we were kind of into a place where it's like we didn't have to care about it. We said that earlier. It's like we were in this nice little hand-holdy video games, all singing "Kumbaya" together while we played Fortnite. You know,
well, that still exists. It's on PC.
It's on PC. Well, that's what we have. I mean, you can download the PlayStation Plus app onto your computer and then stream games through there with PlayStation Plus. So
yep. I mean, you can
that
do,
too.
and like they're releasing some of those games now on PC. Like Spider-Man just was released on PC.
I saw that. I saw that. And
Um, yeah, but I mean, Sony's always been kind of not wanting to play nice with everyone else,
like
anyways. Because
kind of like a redheaded stepchild, you know,
not even that.
or
It's
like the
just that
middle child syndrome or something.
yeah, maybe that. It's just like it seems like they were always the one that didn't want to do cross-platform
Like we don't want to.
multiplayer.
I don't want to play with you. And then whenever they're like, well, okay, we don't want to play with you, and they're like, but why don't you want to play with me?
Because you said you didn't want to play with us.
You said you didn't want to play with us, you butt.
No, I just wanted you to try harder.
Sony was the last to jump in the crossplay too. But to be fair, I mean, I think that because Nintendo. To be fair, no, but I guess Nintendo was okay with doing crossplay stuff.
Yeah,
with
but
some
like
stuff.
Nintendo's not even like
They're
I
not.
don't.
They're in their own. They're eating.
They do their own thing.
They're in the sandbox eating cat turds. Is what's happening with Nintendo.
And like they're living their best life over in that.
They're just like, I like to play Mario games. It's fun.
Yes, you do. It's okay. Go play.
It's okay. You're good. You're all right. Yeah. I love it. Over
Just
here.
screaming in the corner.
They're just over in the corner. It's a me, Mario. Yeah. I mean, but it's it's this. Are the console wars starting?
I mean,
Is it
it's
gonna
not
happen?
like this is a new thing. It's just I feel like it was cooled off for a little while. It's not starting. It's just that it's
We were in a cold
restart.
war.
Yeah, it was a
Now
cold war.
now we're in
Yeah,
console wars
now some
2.
shots have been fired.
Console Wars 2 Electric Boogaloo, as I said before, as is the title
That's right.
of everything. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of silly. Like, this is the stuff where I'm just like, you just let it happen and see what happens. Like, if they didn't say anything, I guarantee if Sony was just like, it's fine. It's like, whatever. Yeah, you can have it. That's fine. Hey, can we also just keep having, like, still sell the games? And of course they'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. We don't care. Still money.
I mean, probably.
It's still money, you know? Someone's getting a cut. Someone's getting money somewhere.
True.
Hashtag get money, get paid.
And I think that Microsoft basically said that at least like for the next few games, they'll still release them on PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't put like a hard stop in. They said they were like, and for the foreseeable future, we're not going to stop selling like to PlayStation. That would be silly. That would alienate people. Phil Spencer is very much in the like, I don't want to keep people from playing video games. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
he wants as many people playing as much as things as possible.
Yeah, and if Microsoft happens to own the companies that they're buying these things from, well, that's great, you know?
Right, yeah.
Because it's like, he's like, I'm still making money. If people are buying this game from Activision Blizzard on a PlayStation, guess who still makes money? Microsoft, because they own Activision Blizzard.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, it's all money from a business. Put my business Dan hat on. It's like, it's all coming to us. We're gonna make so much money off these damn video game playing kids. I did send Chris a message. And adults. Well, now adults. Millennials have been playing video games for years. Hey, Pip has resubscribed to the Game Brew podcast. Thank you for resubscribing. You got to
say you sent me a message about something. What now?
Oh, I sent you a text message about they're taking loot boxes off of Overwatch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
At the end of August, I think, is when they're doing that. So
what is that like? What does that mean for all the loot boxes then?
Well, there's still going to be loot boxes. It's going to be, you can't buy loot boxes anymore. There will still be you'll like get them in the game for like leveling up or whatever it is. But the but they're just not going to be. You can't just buy a bunch of loot boxes anymore.
Okay.
So
cool.
Hooray! One less game with predatory transactions. Oh, and FIFA 23 is going to be the last time there's a FIFA game.
Does that mean that they're just going to keep expanding on FIFA 23, or does that just mean what does that mean?
We don't know. We don't know yet. We just know that FIFA 23 is going to be the last one.
Okay.
It could be that. It could be just like, here's FIFA 23 and then we're just going to keep updating it. It's like Warzone, where it's like oh yeah, there's FIFA. You have FIFA and then it just keeps going, you know? Or they just change it to something else, which could be just a new branding, you know?
Yeah.
like which happens
Or just like
sometimes.
FIFA Ultimate or something like that, and it's just
Yeah. You know what I would like? There was a soccer game like Super Mario All Stars. They should do that. But
yeah.
years,
I
maybe. Or Super Mario Strikers. That's the one that I meant to say.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of miss those like Mario themed sports games. I feel like
There
you could do a lot with those again.
didn't they come out with a tennis one recently? Or there was a recent one. Yeah, internet searches. This is one of the things that you get now that we have a live podcast is you get us doing the research in real time. You know,
As opposed to us cutting it out.
us cutting out the time, all the tippy taps on the keyboards. My favorite thing, they have a Mario and Sonic Olympics ones. They've done a few of those, which is
Mario
fun.
Tennis Aces came out in 2018.
And that's the last one that happened. Wasn't
Yeah.
there a new Mario Golf? Or am I wrong in that?
Maybe. Also, did you know the Switch is 5 years old now?
Shut up.
Crazy.
Shh. That means my Switch is 5 years old, which makes sense as to why the battery doesn't hold a charge as much anymore.
Oh.
But yeah, Mario Sonic Olympics for the Switch, or a Mario Sonic sports game for the Switch. So that's fun.
That is fun.
That is fun. I do like those. I like silly sports games. I don't like sports that are legitimate. Like you have to be good at it. You know?
I like a mixture. I mean, occasionally I like to play a baseball game or or Madden or whatever. But yeah.
I could get decent money for the Switch if it's hackable. The ones that I always think are funny is like they used to come out with the Olympics game. Like anytime there'd be an Olympics, it would be like the 2022 Olympics video game. And it would just be, it's like basically like a bunch of mini games that you would do, but they'd always be like real people and it would look pretty janky. And my favorite was the jump, the long jump or whatever it is.
Triple jump?
The triple jump, where it's like you have to like jump, and jump again. Because it's basically just like, okay, line up the thumbstick and then press B and then press A and then press X. And you're like, I'm doing it. I'm jumping really far.
It's like a quick time event.
Basically, yeah. Instead of playing God of War, I'm playing the Nagano Olympics.
Nagano or Nagano?
Nagano. I don't know.
You're not gonna know.
I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna
terrible.
know. Oh
That was
boy.
pretty bad.
Well, that was. It was pretty.
Yeah.
It's fine. But that's so. Chris, that's our big question. Is there another console war starting? Is that what's happening right now? What do you think?
I don't think it stopped. I think it just got cold. Now it's heating up again.
It's heating up. We've been at war for years.
For decades.
Here's a more important question, Chris.
Okay.
Whose camp are you in for the ongoing console war?
PC, I win.
That's not because it's not, the PC doesn't count on the console war. You got to pick a side.
I mean,
you can't.
I own a PS5, but I think and I prefer Sony's like first party games, but they're kind of being dumb. So I guess Xbox.
So it's like you're like a Sony national, but you fight for the Microsoft side of the war.
Really, I mean, it's just like PC, like primary PC players are just like sitting back and watching this.
We're just like, hey, you guys do whatever. It's fine.
I'm gonna go play whatever I want now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy whatever I want on the million different launchers I have to install on my computer to play all of them. But I got
whatever.
Pip says when I was a kid we had the Olympics game on the Nintendo with the floor pad. Oh yeah. Ooh. My parents hated it because it was upstairs and when we would play it would sound like a herd of elephants running upstairs. We had that same problem with Dance Dance Revolution whenever we had the pads.
Dance Revolution.
That's multiple Dans twice. Dance Revolution. It's basically us with a bunch of communism T-shirts just running around. Speaking of that, we'd probably be on Team Xbox. Team Microsoft, just because I don't know. It's always been that way. I've got my Vaded gamer tag on Xbox, and that's where it always has been.
I've got Orange Shirt Guy.
Orange Shirt Guy.
Thanks, Will Shell, for that.
Yep. And then he's Captain Brown Pants or Captain Red Pants.
No, he's Captain Spatch.
Captain Spatch. That's him.
And
But
then Bull and Shop.
And Bull and Shop, yes. It took me a while to get his Ian's gamer tag. Like I was like, what? Oh, like a Bull and China Shop. But I get it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, folks, if you have an opinion on which side of the continuation of the console wars is right, and which side is a whiny little bitch, then let us know by going to our Discord. That's bit.ly/discobrew.
Let us know if you think we're wrong and we're stupid.
I mean, please go into episode discussion and just be like, you guys are idiots. This is dumb. You're stupid, and your opinions are bad, and you should feel bad. The other thing that you can do is you can go in there right now to vote on the next Game View podcast, our other project that we have on off weeks of the Game Brew podcast, where we watch terrible video game movies or okay video game movies. I don't think we've watched a good video game movie yet.
What do you think the best one we've seen is?
I said it in the last one, and I think Tomb Raider is still the best one that we've watched.
Okay, is it the one you've enjoyed the most, though?
I think
I might have enjoyed Street Fighter more.
I think I enjoyed Street Fighter more, too. I laughed at Street Fighter more. Like,
right.
I audibly laughed.
Yeah.
What was that one with Fred Savage? What was that one with Fred Savage? Video game movie with Fred's... Oh, yes, The Wizard. That was where they released Super Mario 2? No. World 2? I don't remember. But yes, Fred Savage was in that. That is a great video game movie. We'll have to put that on the list for the other one. But we do have two that we are voting on right now. And they are in the episode discussion tab in our Discord. We are between Rampage, starring The Rock from 2018, and the Hitman movie, starring Timothy Olyphant from 2007. Last I checked, I think that one was in the lead still. I know Chris really wants to watch Rampage. Chris, it might be to the point where you have to do it on your own time.
No, I will not.
Yeah, go in there. Vote on which one to watch. Basically, the process is, it's very bad, Pip, but you should watch it. You should definitely watch it. The process is once we get to like Wednesday, it will probably, so more than likely it'll be whichever one has the most votes by then. And then watch that movie if you want to be in the conversation with us. But next Sunday, I believe, unless something else pops up or the Twitch locks me out again, we will talk about that then. We may have some guests. We may, it might just be Chris and I. If you do watch and you want to be involved, please let us know. And yeah, we'll talk about it. So that's the plugs for the episode. Also,
I keep forgetting who Timothy Olyphant is, and I
remember
it's Cobb Vanth.
It's Cobb Vanth.
And I'm like, oh, right, okay.
He was also in Deadwood. He was also in Santa Clarita Diet. He was also in The Office. He was the salesman who Pam went on a date with, but he never called her back. What else? What else is he in? So many things. He's a very attractive man. Not in Hitman, though, because they shaved all of his hair off. But anyway.
Are you saying that bald people can't be attractive?
No, because Ian exists.
And also The Rock.
I've been watching a lot of like old WWE clips with The Rock. Wasn't he also in Fergie? I don't know, maybe.
He was in Fern Gully? Is that
is that Fern Gully or Fergie?
No, Fergie.
In Fergie?
Oh, I wonder if she meant Fargo.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Because now I'm only picturing him dating Fergie. Justified. Yep, he was in that too. Okay, but anyway, blah, blah. We're going to talk about that stuff whenever we get to...
Like next week.
Nope. Fergie. Weren't they married? Oh, God. Were they married?
Were they?
Oh, no. Remember when she sang the national anthem real bad?
I do.
It was hilarious. All right. Well, we're going to go into some plugs. Chris, anything you want to plug?
Nope.
Okay. I will plug, I guess, my own Twitch, twitch.tv/tubecrazed, TUBECRAZED. At some point, you might see Hannah and I playing some scary games on there.
Spooky.
Chris, look up to see if Fergie and Timothy Oliphant were married.
He's only been married to Alexis Neef.
Neef?
Kneif.
Neef? Knife?
Neff? Is that just a weird way to spell knife? I don't know.
Might be.
But they've been married since 1991.
Oh,
Basically forever.
That's adorable. See, that's great.
That's like super rare in Hollywood.
That's like, oh, look at these two married people. That's disgusting. You were thinking.
Anyways.
She was thinking of Josh Duhamel. Weren't we all thinking of Josh Duhamel? You mean the star of the star of that show Las Vegas on TNT? That Josh Duhamel? Love Josh Duhamel. He could have been. But yeah, you could do that. We're going to play the mortuary assistant at some point. I have to get her okay. If it's okay for us to be scared on the internet together, or whether we're just going to be scared in our... They do all look alike. All white men look the same.
Me and Dan are basically the same person.
Basically the same. He just has beard. That's why. That's so you could tell us apart whenever you're looking at us. So that's it. That's it. It is. I've been told it's a good game, Pip. So we're gonna keep going. But now is the point where we end our podcast. If I've forgotten to say anything, please remind me later. But listen to the podcast. All of the episodes are still on all of your favorite podcast mediums. If you want to go and listen to your favorite episode again, you can do that, and tell us why it's still the one that we picked the best.
Tell us which episode is your favorite.
For me, it's the best fruits in gaming, because that's been
that's an old one.
That's an old one, but still one of my favorites.
That one was, hey, what's the dumbest subject we could do?
What's the dumbest thing we could do yet still have a podcast? Now we don't even think of anything. We just think it's like, what's going on? Yeah, let's talk about games. Let's talk about movies for an hour and say it's a video game podcast. So that's it. But we are going to end this episode of the podcast portion of the Game Group podcast by saying what we say every time we end this episode of the Game Group podcast, which is good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
So good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.